We're about to dive into this incredible ancient story. It's about a simple potter whose devotion might have actually changed the course of history. But honestly, the wildest part isn't what he did, it's a hidden meaning, one that's been locked away inside a single word that really shows us the true nature of friendship and even enlightenment itself.
So, here's the big question. What if the real heart of this story, a meaning that has echoed for centuries, was hiding in plain sight, inside just one word? That's the mystery we're going to unpack together.
All right, so our story kicks off a long time ago. It's about two best friends, a potter named Ghaṭikāra and a young man, Jotipāla. One of them was a total believer, and the other, well, he wasn't so sure.
Now, you have to understand, Ghaṭikāra wasn't just some casual follower. The text calls him the chief supporter of the Buddha of that era, whose name was Kassapa. This guy's devotion was absolutely legendary. It was the bedrock of his whole life.
But his best friend, Jotipāla, just could not get on board. Ghaṭikāra would be like, "Come on, man, let's go see the Buddha." And Jotipāla would just shoot back, "Why would I ever bother with that shaven-headed monk?" And this was their whole dynamic, happening all the time. You have the devotee and the skeptic. It's a classic setup, right?
So after getting shot down over and over, Ghaṭikāra tries a new tactic. He says, okay, how about we just go to the river for a bath? You know, a totally normal thing for friends to do. But of course, he's got a little something up his sleeve. The river just so happens to be right next to the Buddhist monastery.
So they're at the river, but Jotipāla still refuses to go see the Buddha. And this is where Ghaṭikāra does something pretty shocking. He grabs his best friend, who's just washed his hair, by the locks and basically says, "We are going." It's this moment of just pure physical conviction.
And this right here is the turning point. Jotipāla is completely stunned. He's thinking, wait a minute, my friend's just a simple potter. For him to do something this drastic, this can't be some ordinary thing. He gets it. The depth of his friend certainty had to be pointing to something really profound. And so he finally says yes, he agrees to go.
So Jotipāla's meeting with the Buddha completely changes his life. But believe it or not, that meeting isn't even the real climax of the story. The true heart of it is hidden in the text itself and how it describes the relationship between the potter and the Buddha. And to find it, we need to put on our linguistic detective hats.
When we translate an ancient text from Pali, we basically have two options. We can use a modern lens. You know, grab a dictionary, find the word, get a direct translation. It's clear, it's simple. Or we can use an ancient lens. This lets us dig way down to the word's very roots to feel what it was originally meant to express.
Now, the special tool the ancients used for this is called niruti. Think of it like a linguistic key. It lets us bypass centuries of simple dictionary definitions and unlock a word's essential meaning, to hear it the way the people who first spoke it would have heard it.
Okay, so let's jump back to our potter, Ghaṭikāra. His relationship with the Buddha Kassapa was truly next level. The Buddha basically treated Ghaṭikāra's home like it was his own, and it's right here that we find the word that changes absolutely everything.
I mean, the level of trust here is just incredible. While Ghaṭikāra is out working, the Buddha literally helps himself to rice and curry right out of the potter's pots. And get this, when the monastery roof starts leaking, his monks just go over and take the thatch right off Ghaṭikāra's workshop roof. No asking, no, "Hey, is this okay?" Just a complete sense that this is a shared space.
So, what's Ghaṭikāra's reaction when he comes home and sees all this? Is he mad? Not at all. He is filled with joy. Every single time he exclaims, "What a great gain this is for me. What an incredible fortune that the Buddha, Kassapa, is so abhikfasato with me." And there it is. That's our word, abhikfasato.
All right, so let's use our modern lens. We look up abhivisato in the Pali dictionary, and the standard translation is confident or trusting. And yeah, that totally makes sense. Ghaṭikāra is thrilled that the Buddha trusts him so much. It's a good translation, but it feels a little bit abstract, doesn't it? A little flat.
But now let's switch to our ancient lens to niruti. We break the word down to its Sanskrit root, vishwas. And that root, shwas, it means to breathe. So the deeper, more essential meaning of abhivisato isn't just to trust, it's to breathe freely.
To breathe freely. Wow. Do you feel that difference? This one little shift in translation changes everything.
Let's plug this new insight back into the story and see how it completely reframes what the potter was really offering the Buddha.
Here's the big aha moment. Ghaṭikāra's real gift wasn't the rice, it wasn't the roof thatch, it was creating a space of such profound psychological safety that a fully enlightened being could completely and totally relax. It was a sanctuary where he didn't have to perform or teach or be the Buddha. He could just be. He could exhale. He could breathe freely. That is the true meaning of devotion.
Okay, but the story isn't over. There's one final piece of the puzzle, and it connects this ancient friendship across lifetimes, right up to the present day.
So remember what happened after they met the Buddha Kassapa? Jotipāla, our former skeptic, was so moved that he became a monk on the spot. But Ghaṭikāra, the deeply devout potter, he chose to stay a layman so he could take care of his elderly, blind parents.
And this is where it all comes full circle. The Buddha who is telling this very story, our Buddha, Gautama, he reveals a secret to his attendant. He says, "You might think that young man Jotipāla was someone else, but you shouldn't see it like that. I myself was Jotipāla in that lifetime."
Just let that sink in for a second. The skeptical young man, literally dragged by the hair to meet a Buddha, was the very same person who would become the Buddha of our time. That simple, determined potter didn't just help out a friend. He set a future Buddha on the path to enlightenment. It was a friendship that literally changed the world.
So it leaves us with this thought, doesn't it? A single word, when we looked at it differently, revealed a whole new story. Not just about trust, but about creating a sanctuary where someone can truly breathe freely. It makes you wonder, what other profound meanings are just sitting there, hiding in plain sight, in the words and stories we think we already know? What are you ready to unlock?